Ladies and gentlemen, nobody cares. Do it for you. This truth is harsh, but essential. In this journey called life, we must understand that the world is busy with its own struggles. People may offer you advice. Sometimes they may show sympathy, but in the end, you alone are responsible for your growth. When you are weak, you are left alone. When you are strong, the world walks with you. So do not wait for someone to hand you an opportunity or to push you forward. Be your own driving force. Your dreams are your responsibility. This is the truth that the world often forgets to remind you. Dreams are delicate seeds planted in the soil of your mind, but they will never bloom unless you water them with your own effort. Nobody else can feel the intensity of your vision or the fire in your heart. It is only you who knows how deeply your dreams matter. So do not wait for someone else to step in and make them real for you. Do not expect someone to hand you the key to your future on a silver platter, because the world does not work that way. When you accept that your dreams are your responsibility, you take back your power. You shift from being a passive passenger in your life to the active driver. You no longer blame circumstances or other people for your lack of progress. You understand that you are the one who must put in the work. You must find the courage to take that first step, to embrace the risk of failing and the possibility of. It does not matter how big or small your dream is. Maybe you dream of starting a business. Maybe you dream of becoming a great artist or a teacher who inspires others. Maybe you want to travel the world or bring light to a village that is lived in dark. Whatever it is, know that it begins with you. It begins with your decision to show up every day, even when nobody else sees what you are doing. It begins with your quiet commitment to take one small step after another. You may find yourself surrounded by people who do not understand your vision. You may even hear laughter or feel the sting of doubt. But remember that these dreams were not given to them. They were given to you. Only you can see the path clearly. Only you can feel the weight of what you want to achieve. So let that be your strength. Let that knowledge push you forward, even when the world seems indifferent. When you choose to make your dreams your responsibility, you also choose to silence the excuses that hold you back. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop relying on the approval of others. You learn to trust the small voice within that whispers, "You can do it," and you begin to realize that the only permission you ever needed was your own. It is a heavy truth, but it is also a beautiful one, because when you own your dreams, you own your future. You create a life that reflects your values, your hopes, your soul's calling. You become a builder of possibility and a source of light in a world that sometimes forgets to dream. So hold fast to your dreams. Treat them like the precious gifts they are, and work for them as if your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. No one owes you success. This is a truth that may feel bitter to swallow, but it is the only way forward. The world is not waiting to reward you simply for existing. It does not hand out trophies for showing up or medals for good intentions. Success is earned, never owed. No matter how hard your struggle or how noble your intentions, you must prove your worth to the world through the sweat of your efforts and the clarity of your vision. In every corner of life, you will find people who expect the world to open doors for them simply because they believe they deserve it. They wait for an opportunity to knock, for someone to recognize their potential and lift them to greatness. But life does not work this way. Opportunities are created, not given. Doors are pushed open by those who refuse to wait for permission. Success does not arrive like a gentle breeze. It comes to those who are willing to brave the storms and walk through fire. When you understand that no one owes you success, you also see that complaining and blaming others for your failures is a waste of energy. Yes, life can be unfair. Yes, you will face obstacles that seem too large to overcome. But pointing fingers at fate will not build your future. Whining about the unfairness of it all will not move you an inch closer to your goals. The only thing that will take you forward is the realization that your life is in your hands. Your success is in your hands. You must be the one to take responsibility for it. And you must be the one to do the work. It does not matter if you come from humble beginnings or if you have never been given a head start. Many of the greatest people in history rose from nothing. They had no wealth, no connections, no guarantees of success. What they had was the willingness to try, to stumble, to get up and try again. They learned that no one was coming to save them. They became their own rescue. They did not sit around waiting for the perfect circumstance. They created the circumstances they needed through perseverance and hard work. This does not mean you must be alone in your journey. Of course, there will be mentors and supporters along the way. Of course, there will be moments of kindness and help from unexpected places. But even these are gifts, not entitlements. You cannot expect anyone to carry your burden or build your dreams for you. They may guide you, but you must take the steps yourself. They may cheer for you, but you must be the one to lift your feet and move forward. When you let go of the idea that the world owes you something, you also let go of the bitterness that comes from disappointment. You stop comparing yourself to others who seem to have it easier. You stop measuring your worth by the recognition you receive. Instead, you measure it by the effort you give, by the faith you have in your journey. You begin to see that success is not about winning applause or praise. It is about growing into the person you are meant to become. Life will test you. It will try to break you. It will whisper in your ear that you are not good enough, that you are not worthy of the dreams you hold. But you must remember that success is not for the chosen few. It is for the few who choose to rise above these voices. It is for those who decide that no matter how many times they fall, they will stand up again. Success belongs to those who know in their bones that nothing in this world is given freely, and that every inch of progress is carved from the stone of effort. Success is not a debt that the world pays to you. It is a treasure that you discover when you dare to dig deep and refuse to stop. Courage grows when you walk alone. This is the quiet truth that stands behind every story of greatness, every journey that has shaped a life of purpose. When you find yourself standing at the edge of uncertainty, when the path ahead is dark and no one else seems willing to take those first steps with you, that is when courage begins to blossom. It does not grow in the comfort of a crowd, nor in the safety of following the footsteps of others. It grows in the moments when you choose to trust yourself even when doubt whispers loudly. Walking alone can feel like a burden. The world is filled with noise and expectations, with voices telling you to fit in, to follow the well-trodden path. But there is a power in listening to your own voice and following the tug of your own heart. It is in those moments that you discover the strength you carry within you. You see that courage is not about being fearless, but about taking one small step despite the fear that lives in your chest. Every time you walk alone, you teach yourself to rely on your own instincts. You begin to trust the quiet wisdom that grows from within. You learn to see the path not as something given to you, but as something you create with each choice you make. And in that creation you find freedom. You realize that you are not bound by the expectations of others, that you do not need to wait for someone else to tell you what is possible. When you walk alone, you also learn to embrace the discomfort that comes with it. You see that loneliness is not always a weakness. Sometimes it is the birthplace of the deepest understanding and the most unshakable resolve. In the silence of your own thoughts, you hear the truth of what matters to you. You hear the call of your own dreams, louder and clearer than the chatter of the crowd. Courage grows when you face those moments of doubt and keep moving forward anyway. It grows when you decide that you will not let fear dictate the boundaries of your life. It grows when you understand that the only limits that truly exist are the ones you place on yourself. And with every step you take, you chip away at those limits, replacing them with new possibilities. There will be times when walking alone feels like too much to bear. You will question yourself, wonder if you have made a mistake. But in those moments, remind yourself that this is the path that shapes you. This is the path that tests you and shows you the strength that has always been inside you. Walking alone teaches you resilience. It shows you that you are capable of more than you imagined, that your courage is deeper than you knew. It is a quiet courage, not always seen by the world. It is not loud or showy, but it is steady and real. It is the courage that allows you to keep going when there is no guarantee of success, when the finish line is hidden in the distance. It is the courage that tells you that even if no one else believes in you, you can still believe in yourself. When you walk alone, you also open the door to connection in a deeper way. Because when you are sure of who you are and what you stand for, you find others who see that light in you. You draw people to you who share your values, your vision, your commitment. But even then, the courage that grows in solitude remains a part of you. It becomes a quiet companion, a source of strength that can never be taken away. Walking alone does not mean you must always be alone, but it does mean you must first learn to trust yourself, to honor your own voice, and to keep moving forward no matter who else is watching. Keep pushing forward, regardless of applause. This is the simple truth that separates those who reach their dreams from those who stop at the first sign of resistance. It is easy to keep going when the world cheers for you, when every step forward is met with praise and recognition. But the real test comes in the quiet moments, when the clapping stops, when you are left with only your own thoughts and the weight of your determination. Applause is a beautiful thing, but it is not what sustains you. It fades quickly, a brief sound that echoes and disappears. If you build your purpose around the applause of others, you will always be chasing something outside yourself. You will always be wondering if what you are doing is enough to please the crowd. But if you learn to keep pushing forward no matter who is watching, you will find a strength that does not waver and a purpose that does not dim. There will be times when you feel invisible, when it seems as if no one notices the effort you are putting in. These are the moments that can break you or make you. If you allow them to make you, you will discover a quiet kind of courage. You will begin to see that the value of your work does not depend on how many people see it. It depends on the care and commitment you bring to it every single day. The truth is that most of the journey happens in the shadows. The late nights, the early mornings, the countless hours spent refining and reworking. These are the parts no one sees, and yet they are the most important. They are the steps that build your skills, your resilience, your ability to stand tall even when the world looks away. Do not be discouraged by the silence. Let it be a space where you can hear your own voice more clearly. Let it remind you that you are doing this not for applause, but for the deep satisfaction that comes from growing, from creating, from moving forward. When you stop seeking constant validation, you open yourself to a kind of freedom that can never be taken away. You learn to rely on your own judgment, to trust that the path you are walking matters, even if it is not celebrated by everyone else. There will be people who do not understand why you keep going. They may tell you to stop, to give up, to accept a quieter, smaller life, but they do not see what you see. They do not feel the fire in your heart, the pull of the dream that calls you forward. You must be willing to honor that dream, even when no one else can see. Every time you take another step, every time you refuse to let the lack of applause slow you down, you become stronger. You prove to yourself that you are capable of holding on to your purpose, no matter what. This quiet determination becomes your foundation, the bedrock on which you can build something lasting and real. Applause is nice, but it is not the measure of your worth. It is not the measure of the impact you are making or the difference you are creating. What matters is that you keep going, that you keep showing up, that you keep putting one foot in front of the other, no matter who is watching. This is how real progress is made, not in the bright lights of a stage or in the echo of cheers, but in the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat, in the quiet commitment to keep moving forward. When you learn to push forward regardless of applause, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who does not need the world's permission to do great things. You become the kind of person who does not wait for praise to take the next step, because you know that the journey itself is enough. Life is your canvas. Fill it with your actions. You have been given a precious opportunity, a blank space to create something meaningful. Every day you wake up is a fresh start, a chance to add color, detail, and depth to the picture of your life. The world does not tell you what to paint or how to paint it. It does not limit your brush strokes or demand you follow a certain path. It simply gives you the tools and invites you to begin. The beauty of this truth is that you are in control. You can decide to fill your canvas with bright, bold strokes of ambition and courage. You can choose to let your dreams spill across the surface like a river that cannot be held back. You can decide to paint your failures not as stains but as textures that add character and strength to your work. No one else can do this for you. No one else can take your brush and paint your story. You alone hold that power. Every small action you take becomes a mark on your canvas. Each choice is a color, each step a line that moves you closer to the picture you see in your mind. Some days your strokes may be gentle and unsure, and some days they may be strong and sure. Some days you will feel like you are creating a masterpiece, and some days it will feel like you are simply trying to cover up the mistakes of the day before. But every stroke matters. Every color you choose adds to the whole. There will be voices that tell you your painting is not good enough. They will say your colors are too bright, your ideas too wild. They will tell you to play it safe, to paint within the lines that they have drawn for you. But remember, this is your canvas. No one else has the right to decide what goes on it. Do not let their doubts become your guide. Do not let their limitations become the boundaries of your vision. Your canvas is yours alone. When you see life as a canvas, you begin to understand that mistakes are not the end. They are part of the process. If a color does not work, you can paint over it. If a line is crooked, you can find a way to turn it into something beautiful. Each misstep becomes a chance to learn, to adapt, to find a new path. You stop being afraid of imperfection because you see that even the flaws can become part of something beautiful. You also learn to appreciate the process itself. It is not only about the final picture but about the joy of painting, the excitement of seeing your ideas take shape. You begin to see that the effort you put in, the time you spend, the energy you give, is itself a gift. It is a testament to your willingness to create, to express, to make something that matters to you. Life does not come with guarantees. There will be days when the colors seem dull and the brush feels heavy in your hand. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when the canvas seems too large and your vision too small. But you must remember that the only way forward is to keep painting, to keep trying, to keep adding strokes and colors until you begin to see the image you have been carrying in your heart. The canvas of your life will never be perfect, and that is what makes it beautiful. It will be filled with bright patches and dark shadows, with smooth lines and rough edges. It will be a reflection of your hopes and your fears, your struggles and your triumph. And in the end it will be yours, a creation that could only come from your hands and your spirit. Self-belief is your foundation. It is the quiet force that stands behind every action, every decision, and every small victory. Without it, your journey can feel like walking through a fog, unsure of the ground beneath your feet. But when you have faith in yourself, even the roughest path seems less daunting. The world may doubt you, but your belief in yourself is the only approval you truly need. Self-belief does not come from what others think of you. It is not given to you by the opinions of the world. It grows from within, from the knowledge that you are capable of more than you have been told. It comes from those moments when you face a challenge and find a way through it. When you stumble and rise again stronger than before. Every time you trust your instincts. Every time you push past fear and take a step forward. Your belief in yourself grows stronger. Many people wait for permission to believe in themselves. They think they must have a perfect record or endless praise before they can see their own worth. But self-belief is not a prize at the end of the journey. It is the fuel that carries you there. It is the gentle but firm voice in your heart that says you can do it even when you feel small. It is the reminder that you do not need to be perfect to be worthy of trying, that your efforts are valuable even if they are not yet seen by others. The world will always have its doubts and its critics. You will hear people question your ability. You will face eyes that watch you with skepticism. Do not let their doubts become your own. Do not let their lack of faith plant seeds of uncertainty in your heart. Remember that those who mock often do so because they are afraid to try themselves. They do not understand the courage it takes to dream and to work for that dream day after day. So let them talk, let them doubt, but never let them make you doubt yourself. Self-belief is not loud or boastful. It does not shout from rooftops or demand attention. It is quiet and steady, like the heartbeat that never stops. It is a promise you make to yourself that no matter how hard it gets, you will keep going. It is the choice to stand tall when the world tells you to shrink, to speak up when your voice trembles, to keep moving even when the path ahead is dark. You may not have all the answers today. You may not have all the skills or resources you think you need, but self-belief tells you that you can learn, you can grow, you can find your way. It tells you that every failure is a lesson, every mistake a stepping stone. It teaches you to see your flaws not as proof of weakness, but as proof that you are trying, that you are alive and learning. There will be days when self-doubt creeps in, whispering that you are not enough. On those days you must return to the simple truth that you are capable. You have overcome challenges before. You have faced moments of fear and walked through them. You have earned the right to believe in yourself, not because you are perfect but because you are determined. Each time you trust yourself, you build a foundation that cannot be shaken by the storms of doubt. You are not defined by your past or by the opinions of others. You are defined by what you choose to believe about yourself. When you stand firm in that belief, you find the strength to keep going. You find the courage to start again when you fall. And you discover that the power to shape your life has been in your hands all along. The world notices only when you succeed. This is the reality that can feel both heavy and motivating. When you are just starting, when you are putting in the early hours and working in the shadows, it can feel like nobody sees you. The applause is silent. The encouragement is faint, and often you must push through without any external praise. In these early days, you may doubt yourself because it feels like no one else believes in what you are doing. But remember, it is not because you are unworthy. It is because the world tends to watch only the outcome, not the struggle. People love to celebrate victories. They love to talk about achievements, to stand beside those who have already made their mark. But few are there to watch the lonely hours, the failures, the endless adjustments and second chances that come before that final victory. This is why you must learn to find strength in the quiet places. You must learn to keep moving forward even when the world's eyes are turned elsewhere. This can feel unfair at times. You may wonder why you should keep going when nobody is clapping for you, when nobody seems to care whether you rise or fall. But this is where true grit is born. It is forged in the silence of those early days when you are the only one who believes in what you are building. It grows in the quiet mornings when you work before the sun is up, and in the late nights when you keep going long after everyone else has gone to sleep. You must understand that the world's attention is fleeting. People notice success because it is bright and loud. It shines like a beacon that draws everyone's eyes. They do not see the roots that hold that success in place, the foundation built from countless small actions and silent sacrifices. Do not let this discourage you. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it remind you that your work is about more than recognition. It is about creating something of value, something that speaks to who you are and what you believe in. The journey to success is long, and much of it is traveled in solitude. This is why you must learn to become your own source of motivation. You must learn to be proud of your efforts, even when nobody else sees them. You must find satisfaction in each small victory, in each quiet step that brings you closer to your goal. The world may not see these steps now, but they are what make your future possible. When success does come, it often comes suddenly. One day you are just another name, another face in the crowd. The next day you are someone who has achieved something remarkable. The world will act as if they have always believed in you, as if your victory was always yours. But you will know the truth. You will know the nights you spent doubting yourself, the mornings you woke up with determination, the countless times you fell and got back up. And in that knowledge, you will find a quiet pride that cannot be shaken by the noise of the world. Do not waste your energy trying to make everyone see you before you are ready. Do not measure your progress by how loudly the world applauds. Instead, focus on what you can control, the effort you put in, the discipline you build, the faith you hold in yourself. Let the world notice when it is time. Until then, let your work speak for itself. The world notices only when you succeed, and that is all right. It is natural. Do not take it personally. Do not let it become a weight on your spirit. Use it as fuel to keep pushing forward. Let it remind you that while the world may not always see your journey, you must never stop walking it. Let it teach you to find joy in the process and to stand tall in your efforts, no matter who is what. Value your journey over external validation. This is a mindset that transforms how you approach everything you do. When you focus on your journey, on the lessons you learn, the growth you experience, and the progress you make, you find a sense of fulfillment that no applause or praise can ever match. External validation is fleeting and shallow, but the value of your own effort and persistence is something that stays with you. It is natural to want recognition, to want others to see how hard you are working, and to appreciate the effort you put in. We are human beings, after all, and we crave connection and understanding. But if you let this desire control you, you will always be chasing something that is outside of your reach. You will never be able to please everyone. There will always be someone who does not see your worth, someone who thinks you could have done more or done better. If you tie your happiness to these opinions, you will always feel like you are not enough. Instead, look inward. Focus on what you have learned with each step you have taken. Every failure you have faced has taught you something about resilience, about how to stand up again. Every victory, no matter how small, has shown you the power of hard work. When you look at your journey this way, you begin to see that the most important validation comes from within. It comes from knowing that you did your best, that you gave your all, and that you grew stronger through every challenge. Your journey will not always be smooth. There will be days when it feels like you are moving backwards, when the path ahead is unclear and the world around you seems to doubt your purpose. In those moments, you must remind yourself why you start. You must remember that your journey is yours alone, and it does not have to look like anyone else's. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be admired by everyone else. It only has to be meaningful to you. When you value your journey, you also begin to see the beauty in the small things. You notice how each step, no matter how slow or uncertain, is progress. You see how each obstacle has helped you grow. You realize that the real prize is not the trophy at the end, but the strength and wisdom you gain along the way. This perspective frees you from the weight of other people's expectations. It gives you the courage to keep going even when no one is watching, to keep creating even when no one is listening. The journey becomes its own reward. The world may still be focused on results, on numbers and accolades, but you will know that the true measure of success is in the person you are becoming. You will know that the quiet pride of effort and the satisfaction of growth are worth more than any praise or pride. Do not be afraid to walk your own path, to take the steps that feel right to you even if they do not earn applause from the crowd. Do not waste your energy trying to convince others of your worth. Let your actions speak for themselves. Let the work you do and the person you become be enough for you. When you value your journey over external validation, you build a foundation that cannot be shaken by the opinions of others. You learn to trust yourself, to honor your path, and to find meaning in the work itself. You see that every day you show up, every day you try again, you are winning in ways that cannot be measured by applause. Your journey is the story of your life. Let it be a story that matters to you, no matter who else is watching.